Welcome to another exciting episode of the Business of Digital podcast, featuring your hosts, Matt Siltala and Dave Rohr. Hey guys, looking forward to chatting with you today about our predictions for 2019. Before we jump into it though, hey Dave, how's it going?
Hello, sir.
So, there's lots of, obviously, stuff like this happens towards the end of the year, the beginning of years, things like that, about, predictions for the new upcoming year. And I've been included in a number of these type of posts, and we just thought it would be good for us to kind of chat about it and talk about, like, what are, maybe get into it a little more in depth than we are in any kind of articles or things like that. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today, folks. And so, again, if there's any, when you're listening to Dave and I, if there's any questions that you guys have about anything, always feel free to hit us up on Twitter. It's very easy to hit us up on the forums on the Business of Digital website. And so, anyway. All right. So, Dave, let's just jump into this. I'm going to start off with just...
I let me start off by saying this was my idea because I saw you were in a... I don't know if it's like the most hated piece of content from SEOs, but...
Roundups?
It's a content roundup prediction is probably the least favorite of many people that I see complaining on Facebook the last couple of weeks. And this time of year on Twitter, it's like, oh no, not another prediction one. Like, yeah, we're doing it. Sorry.
Yep. But, if the content is good, I've already, in fact, that one that you're referring to, I've already had a friend of mine reach out and say, hey, that was excellent. Like, thank you. And he shared it with a friend and was like, that's exactly what I needed to hear. And I'm going to be working on number 4 or whatever it was for our business. And so anyway, the things that we maybe hate, one man's trash is another's gold, right?
It is.
So for those that like these and for those that can get something out of this, I'm just going to jump into it. I'm going to start with the social media side of it. And you can share your 2 cents on that, and then maybe we could hit each one of these if you want. Dave, just so everybody knows, we've kind of gone through a number of these, the different types of digital marketing and the different things that are involved in internet business, online marketing, things like that. One of the first things that we have listed here, guys, is social media. And so with me, and I've had a lot of opportunity to think about this. One of my things that I think that we're gonna see in 2019 a lot more with different social media platforms is we're going to see there be some sort of increased in and again I'm trying to find the right word here, but like usefulness for teaching versus just like Instagram, for example. Hey, here's the food that I ate today for lunch. I think we're going to start finding, things like the Instagram stories more useful. So like giving you guys some specific examples. There's a couple sites that I've started following recently because they're starting to do certain things. Like PhotoPills is one of my favorite sites to follow, along with some other Lightroom and Photoshop ones. And the reason I follow these accounts and follow certain individuals is because what they'll do in their stories is they'll take you through a simple step-by-step procedure of how to do certain things. Or like the reason I really love the PhotoPills is because they'll always be sharing stories, on their Instagram stories on how to use different aspects of their app. Like, how to shoot better star trails, how to use the specific augmented reality type section of their app. And so that's one of the things that I think businesses are going to try to figure out and do a little bit better of a job at, using these stories and making this social media a little bit more. I don't know if the right word, Dave, is useful, but going just beyond the, here's my cute kid, or here's my stupid cat in a tree. Or here's my, what I ate for dinner. I think it's going to start going beyond that, and we're going to find it for other levels of usefulness, if that makes sense.
It does. And I think for me, it's almost a content, and it kind of overlaps between social and SEO. I'm hoping, and you and I have seen this more and more. Um, we've done, we haven't done it in the last year or two, but for years we would talk about, less is more in content and better content. And, as an SEO, we spent 10 plus 15 years, whatever it was, telling people we need content, we need content, we need content. The last 3 to 5, we've probably spent it saying we need good content, we need quality content, we need content that actually has a purpose. And I think social media is hopefully going to go more that way rather than just posting pictures of your product on, on Instagram, or just a, hey, we're having a sale type Facebook post.
Yeah.
I'm hoping, and I'm seeing it some, but I don't, trying to think of the businesses that I follow. I don't see it. I see it from some influencer type people that do, one of them, I forget her name. She does, not every week, but when she's out and about, she'll do like little demos of how to, what she's practicing as far as like her swing. Right. And something simple that anyone can do. And she probably does it once every week or two, mixed in with some of her training workout stuff and just her life and stuff. So it's a bit of personal business and, everything. But she does do that from time to time in her stories. And I see other people, whether it's makeup or food or other things.
Well, since you said makeup, it reminded me of something. Let me give everybody that's listening a very specific example of this. The thing that people hate the most, and again, I'm looking at all you Roden and Filth people, and I don't know if it's gone as crazy over there as it has here, Dave, but like I got, you got these stay-at-home moms, and they're starting these businesses, which is great, and it's fine, but their account that you've been following forever that has pictures of their family and food and all the normal stuff, that all of a sudden, every day you're seeing a post about a particular product that's going to change the way your face looks, or change your life, or this or that. It's going to get rid of acne, and like every day you're just getting these posts and like 10% off, and join my downline and do this and blah blah blah. And you know what? That's not going to cut it. Like that is just not going to do it. And so, giving you guys the perfect example of how you can make that better. You know what? Still give me the normal stuff. Let me know that you're a normal human on your Instagram and stuff. But like, here's your opportunity to let people know what the product actually does. Give me a story of, how to properly go about applicating it. Like, give me some stories, show me actual pictures instead of pictures, show me the actual person that, here, this was how they were before, and then this is exactly what we did to them, and here's the after. Or even just sharing with me, what do you do during your day? Give me your lifestyle. Like, if you're trying to sell me on becoming a part of your downline, give me the reasons why I want to be a part of that downline. Give me a reason why I want to be a part of what you're doing, because, share with me that lifestyle, share with me exactly what that product does. And I think that's where they have a lot more of an opportunity, Dave, versus just the annoying, pictures and here's your 10% off and you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Anyway.
And I think today, which won't really help because when we're posting it's in a couple weeks, but today Twitter stock's up 6%, or it was earlier today.
Hey.
I don't know what Snapchat's is, but Snapchat could possibly go away. I don't know how quickly they're burning money, but Twitter's still going to be around next year. Facebook's still going to be around. Instagram clearly is going to be around.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if there's any going to be others, but wherever you are being active, I think whether it's from an SEO standpoint, from any type of content marketing, social media marketing, just create quality content more often than, just the quick checklist. We did it. We pushed something out today.
Absolutely. And one more to add to that list, just based on the time that I see my wife on it and using it, which I would never have thought this, Reddit.
Take a look at it.
Anyway, so let's so that covers social media. I'd like to jump into SEO a little bit. And again, this is one of the ones that caused this whole post and or this whole episode. But I'll just share, Dave, what I shared, and then you can give me your thoughts on it and jump into whatever you have. But basically, mine is not earth-shattering or groundbreaking or by any means new. But what I always try to tell people is it is going to be the content that you have that makes or breaks what you're doing, okay? You need to have that content that sells people if that's what you're wanting to do. You need to have that content that converts people. You need to have that content that answers that question. And so again, no matter what you're a part of, pay attention to the things that people are using. So again, we've talked about some of the social websites out there. If part of your industry is really heavily using Instagram stories, then you need to focus on the kind of content that is going to answer the questions that people are asking by using that platform. And so, again, with search engine optimization, there's not a whole lot changes about it from year to year. I mean, there's little updates or algorithm updates that Google does, some bigger than others. But again, how long have we been saying stuff like, mobile indexing and mobile first, or let's focus on this, or let's, not worry about that. And so like all of the stuff, year after year, you can pick a different topic and it all kinds of blends. But for me, it always comes back to creating the kind of content that is going to make people want to link to you, that's going to make people want to share, that's going to do something to drive the needle. And again, like I said, this isn't any kind of groundbreaking or any kind of like predictions for 2019 other than, just making sure that you're still focusing on creating that quality. And and again, getting rid of all of the, we don't need to waste our time with content filler. Like, again, I'm just going to be focusing on the kind of content that moves the needle, but I'm going to figure out what that purpose is. Am I trying to convert someone? Am I trying to gain a lead? Am I trying to get a sell? Is this content for reputation purposes? Is it for community building? Like, what is the point of it? And that's really what I'm going to be focusing on, because I think if I can create that kind of content, then that's going to just help the SEO efforts, period. So those are mine.
2019, the year of the mobile. Was that 2018 or was that 2016?
It might have been 2015.
It might have been 2015.
Video, Dave. Video. We got to get into video.
Oh, we got to mention video at least 20 more times before another 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I think, therefore I am. I had something I was just going to say. Oh, yeah, we just kind of talked about it. And from just the content standpoint, I think if you look at your content as an advertisement, which is probably going to get me in trouble for saying it in such a way, but hear me out. Go back 20 years, 25 years, 30 years. A business wouldn't just create content. I'm sure John Deere created some of the first content marketing when they created a catalog, but in general, most companies that want to get found would create advertisements, and they would create them with a purpose. And the purpose was to get people in the door. It was to get people to call their salespeople. It was to get people to, open the catalog and buy something. So when you're creating content, create it with a purpose. And that purpose shouldn't just be because it's a Tuesday and we have to create something for Tuesday, or a Friday and we have to push out some sort of whatever. Think through what the purpose is and what the goal is of that content, no matter where you're putting it, and then, start creating the content. But have that purpose first. And I think in 2019, as people start to realize that, for the last year or two, they've started to build up these content teams, or they've done this content marketing thing now for a while, and they're starting to pump money into it, or looking at other social channels, or, there's some companies, surprisingly, that are just getting to SEO. Yes, it is. Some companies are still just doing it. That content you're creating, start with the purpose of what it is first.
And
shocking, but
and along with those thoughts, something that I saw that Lauren Baker had mentioned, and I thought that this was, this can kind of go along with SEO predictions, but also maybe link building and outreach. But he mentioned something, and again, this is something that we've been doing at Avalanche for a while. There's not such a fine line between, when it comes to marketing, the offline and the online channels, there's many cases where we've done something offline, where we've worked with a TV group or a newspaper group or whatever it might be, and that in turn has gotten us a lot of play, if you will, or movement because someone heard it or someone else mentioned it, that they wrote an article about it because they saw it on TV or something. So I just thought it was interesting how he's bringing up that Lauren, he's bringing up that they're having a lot of wins for their clients by merging that side of it, whether it be for link building, for outreach, but they're going to those other channels, whether it be newspapers, TV, just things like that. And again, it doesn't have to be media channels, but they're getting some sort of play with the offline side of it, and it's merging into what they're doing with their online. And so again, something else for everybody to think about is, if you have opportunities, if you're putting together a big, you're doing something for charity, or you're doing something that's worthy of having a TV station out, or having some sort of press, if it's an offline opportunity, or let's say that we've actually created some really funny billboards for clients, some infographic style billboards that have gotten a lot of play, and people have taken pictures, create a lot of content on social media, a lot of buzz talking about them. So again, there is that side of it, and I think we as there becomes less of a line between, hey, this is offline and this is online, and this all just becomes marketing, we're going to see more of that. But those are just a couple thoughts that I had.
So we're not wrapping up yet, but I want to cover a couple more things. We're going to do it quickly-ish. WordPress recently had a big announcement where they're moving to, the whole brand new thing with Gutenberg and number 5 and stuff. What do you predict will happen with the state of, CMSs and WordPress and stuff next year? Do you think people will still be using even more Angular and JS? Do you think more people are going to, at an enterprise level, still start to accept a WordPress open source?
I think 2019 is going to be pretty much business as usual while they're getting all of that worked out. And then I honestly think in 2020 we'll be moving towards more of what I think that you're referring to or alluding to. But I just don't see a lot of people jumping on until they know that it's something solid, or they know that it's going to be something that doesn't break. But I do see people continuing to edit and do their normal stuff with WordPress, business as usual, so to speak, in 2019. I could be wrong, but that's just kind of my thoughts on it.
Hi, Holly.
Apparently it's Holly's thoughts on it as well.
Holly thinks you're pretty funny.
Yes.
I think just from what I've seen, I don't know a large enterprise that's going to make such a big leap when they have a solid site. And there is a learning curve, and there is some usability issues, and there is another stray cat in my backyard. Where are you coming from, cat? It just ran out of the woods. And I think there are other things. And then, Google just came out with a plugin for WordPress. So for your analytics, which is an interesting vote for WordPress.
Yeah.
But the Wixes and the, all of those other types of Squarespaces and stuff are making their pushes. So, and for someone just starting up, if, all the talk about WordPress and you have to do this and hire designers, I think it still scares a lot of people.
Well, it's very appealing. We've had different episodes where we've talked about it and why it is appealing to people.
Yeah.
And
there's good and bad.
If you already are in a position where you can send hundreds, if not thousands of people to your website, and you don't need to care about SEO at all, if you've already somehow made it, and again, this is, I cringe by myself even saying this, but then by all means use one of those solutions. I can't see how doing better and having more marketing would ever hurt, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then I think we got about 2 more minutes, so we'll wrap up with the fun paid search side of things, which I know you don't do a ton of.
So, what are your thoughts on it then, Dave?
So there's more, when people say paid search, it's interesting because some people just think of Bing ads and some people just think of Google ads. Not AdWords, ads, I said.
Yep.
It's funny they stole that from Bing. But you can do ads on, Facebook and Twitter and
Instagram,
LinkedIn and stuff, and all of that falls under paid. So I think there are more places to go, and I think Amazon is taking more and more of that. What's his name that used to work at Purple and is now been doing stuff like all I ever see is him talking about Amazon, and I see a lot of other people talking about Amazon more and more. And I just had someone reach out to me with a really small project that they were saying that they just started getting on Amazon, and can I help them? Honestly, I've never done it.
And Tony Very, right?
Yeah.
He's actually one of the few people I know that I would consider an Amazon expert. So we'll drop a link to him in case anybody does want to pursue that side of it a little bit more heavily.
Yeah, I've not done it. So,
but I think you're absolutely right though with the direction that you were talking about with it. Like that's one of the things that I think needs to be the 2019 push. So would this be a prediction? I guess, but it needs to be a push by us marketers to help people understand that their budgets, their paid budgets, are not just all Google AdWords driven now. Their paid spend needs to be, with these other little channels, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Let's have some paid go towards that, and I think that would be a great way to put it.
And I also think there's interesting automation battles going on far beyond just scripts and stuff with Google. But Google is coming out with now they're writing ads for you.
Yep.
There's more enhanced and more options for letting Google take over the bidding and take over a lot more of what your day-to-day type stuff is from what you would consider, legacy PPC management.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see how much more of that they keep bringing up. But I think for some smaller budgets, you have to have certain thresholds for the API, for the AI to understand what would work. So it won't work for everyone, but I think it's interesting to try it out from time to time.
Very good. Well, with that said, we're going to end it, guys. If you think we missed something or if you have anything to add to what we've talked about, as always, feel free to drop them in the comments or ping Dave and I on Twitter. But for Dave Rohr with Northside Metrics, I'm Matt Siltel with Avalanche Media. And thanks, guys, for tuning in to another one of these episodes.
Thanks.